You may actually be wondering why the heck you're subscribed to this channel and why I have 800 subscribers or so without almost any content that aren't VODs. Well, I'm here to break the illusion, right? Originally, this channel was an AMV, GMV editing account. For those who don't know, AMV, GMVs are essentially anime and game music videos. So I did a lot of that in high school, and that was fun. I had my fun learning the ropes around video editing and editing in time with music. But eventually, I did grow out of that, or rather, like eventually, I took a break. I didn't edit videos for a very, very long time. That is until today. So anyway, fast forward to now. I am a game designer. I work as a UI artist and designer for a game company, and I love to play a lot of games now. And I also love designing a lot of things. So I want to sort of document my experiences in traversing that. But before we do that, I want to have a proper send off. I want to say goodbye to my old content before we start anew. So today I'll be reacting to my old music videos, see how I was. Probably I'll be amazed because it's been so long since I've done video editing, and I went ham with the effects back then. So I'm excited. Let's start. All right, are you guys ready to start? By the way, I'm not wearing the glasses I was wearing in the past clip because I just wear those to look cool. But nevertheless, let's look. Now, I'm going to just pick a few videos because I made a lot. And I mean like a lot. I think I have like 100 videos here. They were mostly like 30-second clips, so it was a wild time of my life. I was very productive. I didn't really have a social life back then. I still remember the context for each one of these, and I'll explain each context as we go along. Now I'm just gonna get some key videos in my career as a music video designer before. Oh, music video editor, I mean. Sorry. So yeah, let's get to it. So I think there's a few things we need to talk about before we watch these, right? Back then, I wasn't necessarily an anime music video editor, but there was a very big trend back then where you would get fan art and then manipulate them, animate them, and then in time with the music. And so a lot of the things we'll be watching now are fan art that I got from Zero-chan, from Tumblr, etc., etc. And the thing is, I know now that that was probably not the best thing to do. Of course, you have to give credit when credit is due and only use what the things that the makers themselves explicitly say that it's free for use. Uh, does that make sense? Anyway, the point is like, if you don't own the thing and you didn't get permission to use the thing, it's best if you don't use it altogether. So I was very young. I didn't know that. So if you see your art here, I apologize. I did not know, but now I know better. I no longer do this kind of video editing. And when I do, whenever I have to use graphics, I always ask first before doing anything else. So with that, let's start. So context. Oh my god. So context for this video, this was my very first AMV. I remember that back then music videos were just slideshows of fan art, like no editing whatsoever. But I eventually found this editor named Quintana-chan. And then, looking back, the editing was pretty simple, but it like blew my mind what you could do with a video editor. So I decided to try it all on my own. And it's been a while since I've watched this. I'd say it's been a few years. I don't look at this often. I mean, it's been so long. It's like in the recesses of my mind and in my backlog. Oh yeah, look at that blur, look at that fast editing. There's no focus. Oh yeah, typography. Yes! I'm living. Oh my god, look at the rainbow. You knew I was gay from the get-go. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like you would mask the stuff. You'd mask the backgrounds out and then animate it. And of course, and then I did not have any ending whatsoever. I mean, I'm laughing now, but this is probably where my level is at the moment that now that I haven't practiced. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Ooh, okay. So I think I should have explained this from the first video, but I was very, very into Axis Powers Italia. That's what APH stands for. It was an anime. It was a series about personified countries. And if you don't know, God bless you. But if you do know, I'm so sorry. We're all veterans here. Anyway, I was into a lot of ships. One of them was Pruhan. And this was when I finally figured out, I think, how to adjust the aspect ratio. Still didn't get it though, not completely. Weirdly enough. Dude, look at this choice of like fonts, right? And that little like shake, that little camera shake to to kind of make you think like it's a handheld camera and it's just like a moment frozen in time or whatever. I didn't really think too hard about the editing. Ooh, okay. Okay. This needs a lot of context. So, if you are subscribed to me, you probably subscribed to me because not of Axis Powers Italia, but because of Homestuck. And I have no excuse. I have actually, like I said, I would explain a lot, but that's all I need to say. This is the first Homestuck music video that I made. But this was also the entrance of dubstep. This was the trend back then. This was it. Because there were lots of beats you could hit with every clip. Anyway. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm actually a lot better though. I kind of dig this look now, like this channel mixing. Ooh. Also, I'm gonna take this moment to say, because it already ended anyway. A lot of people shit on Homestuck, but looking back now, it was such a good community. It had a lot of creativity. I learned video editing more and more because of this damn ship. So, yeah. I also love those like film burn overlays. So young, so in love with two men who loved each other so much. This, in my memory, this is one of my favorite music videos. I don't know why. I think it was the choice of music, but also the way that this was when I learned how to I think this is the time when I learned how to what do you call that? What do you call those things? Velocity. So I managed to have more like control over how effects would play out. And your words just yes. Also, like when you edit music videos and the way I did before when it was like per word. Ooh. Yeah, do you see like now things slow down when it hits like its position? Yeah, it just feels crispier. When you edit songs in the way that I did, you will memorize the lyrics. No joke. Like you will memorize every single song you edit to. Until now, I know the words. Because, if you spend like 4 hours on just like 30 seconds of a song, you're definitely going to ingrain that in your memory. This one. Where do I even begin? At some point, I was very invested in the Homestuck editing community and I took part of what people called multi-editor projects, MEPs, MEPs, MEPs. I've never had to say that out loud. um, so normally there would be a host. They'd post a song on YouTube. They would cut the song into parts, and then other editors, if this was a public MEP, they would be able to claim parts and then edit their own rendition of that part of the song, and then the host would stitch all the parts together to make one whole project. So this was my first ever MEP that I myself hosted. Now I remember I was very nervous about it because I was kind of like in the community, but I wasn't necessarily like amazing at it. So fortunately, a lot of people were interested, and as a result, I think, yeah, the end this MEP got like 197,000 views, which is also, oh yeah, that used to be my username, KiyoG18. Ooh, fun story about that. Hey, Erdon. Anyway, fun story about my old username, KiyoG18. I made a second account called KiyoG18, and it essentially meant like Ki meant feeling or energy, and then OG is Prince. So I put that together, and I it meant like, oh, I was just like feeling like a prince or something. In the end, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know I was non-binary at that time. It just fell into place, you know. And that's it. That's it. Really. That's how I made. That's how it came to be. Ooh, I remember this part. Could you be? Yeah. Yeah, usually when you pick a part, you would have to tell the host like what you're going to edit. So it's usually like a character or a pairing, so that the host makes sure that nothing really repeats too much. Yes. And it was just overall really fun. As you can see, this is the kind of video you wouldn't this isn't the kind of like stuff you would show professionally, but really it just shows like we were all just kids. Ooh, that's so nice. We were all just kids that wanted to, do something fun together, something creative for a series that we all loved. Ah, yes. Boy, you're my lucky star. In the end, we all had the maturity to know that whatever we shipped was not necessarily the dynamic we wanted in real life. So given that, I've seen a lot of clownery in terms of ships in Homestuck, and that's taught me acceptance, that's taught me patience. This really makes me feel so much for what I've done, really makes me appreciate. I don't even cringe at this. This is like such a good marker for my journey as a creative. Okay, for this one, I slowly transitioned to making game music videos because Tophergasm, a big editor at that time, started making game music videos. And you know me, I just ride with the trend. I played it once, but it was because of this game music video editing scene. I got so invested in the KH and FF franchise. Not because, I played it, but because I was editing these clips over and over, and then I had to find angles of like what emotion should I portray? How should I portray it? What scenes should I put Sora? Is Sora dying? How can I make it look like Sora's dying? Anyway, so this is my first one, I think. My first venture into actually using game footage instead of just animating like static images. Okay, wait. Is there? Oh, ooh, I like that little. Oh, can we just go back? I do like that part that I did. Look at that part, like that little shake during that remix part. Nice. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I like that. I feel like that's kind of been like the style I've been gravitating towards too. Just manipulating channels. Cause that really like that was nice. That was a nice effect for me. Until now I still use it in my designs. Maybe I'll go back to it and explore it even more. I think I need a little bit of explanation to do. And again, I was very young. I was very young. So I used to ship Dan and Phil. As in like the two British influencers right now. Mainly because it was a big thing back then. But little did I know back then was that these people had actual feelings. And it was even worse when these were YouTubers that could read the comments, right? It could see the fan fiction, could see all of this like shipping media. And it did not occur to me it did not occur to me back then that they would be uncomfortable. So given that, I chose this video because we have to put everything on the table. I'm sorry I made this, but also it was an opportunity that I took when I was 15 or something. I don't know. How old was I in 2011? 15? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I downloaded their music videos. I downloaded their videos. Oh my gosh, they do not look like this anymore. I did think that they were cute back then with these hairstyles. That only shows how emo I was. I can't even read this. Okay, so I guess we should just move on from that. For this video, this was my best video, I think. I will say this was my peak. This was my peak. This was a thank you video for the 400 plus subs I got. And I mean, that was a lot for me back then. So here we are. Here we are with 400 plus subs. I edited to this very popular song called Idols. It was a glitch remix back then. And this was the time when I had to get fan art from Tumblr. So when I hit Tumblr, as I said, I used to only download images from 0chan and I didn't really think much of it. But I kind of felt the guilt of using people's work at this time, oddly enough, only when I had to get it from Tumblr. So I did not ask, which is a mistake on my end. But what I did do was when I got people's fan arts of the trickster versions of the Homestuck characters, I messaged each one of the artists saying, hey, I used your art in my video. Let me know if that's okay. If not, I'll take it down. It was a risk. It was a risk. But I think by doing that, I did get a lot of views that way. Because right now, this video is at like 1,500 views, and that was a lot for me. My average was generally like what 400 views, 200 views. So that was a lot. And this was by far my most effort. I think the edit is only really like 20 seconds. Yeah, like 25. Because there was just so much going on. I put as many effects as possible. See, I even like learned how to do those audio waves on After Effects. Ooh, that took so long. That little like second. And this one, and the squish. Wait, there's so much to unpack here. We'll go through it one by one because this is so fast. Okay, so I learned how to make an audio spectrum specifically for this intro. It was my first dip into After Effects. And then that thing that I'll go through it frame by frame because there's a lot going on. So as you can see, it flips with the beat, and then the pink purple borders actually, I mean, the pink borders don't move. It's the fan art that still gets animated in like the 0.01 seconds it's shown. Like it still pans and then it flips, and we have this like square that zooms in just for that other visual flair. And then it enters with like the lyrics. This is, and then even then, like I still wanted to add like a crazy effect of like this kind of bleeding in transition. Yeah. Okay. That was one segment down. That was 3 seconds done. Breathing you in when I want you. I think that you and my friends and hang out. Oh, that was also one of my favorite parts. Okay, so so where was this? So I used a cosplay photo and I told the cosplayer, can I use your photo? And then I still used it because I was naive and dumb. So anyway, so it transitions, right? It does a Venetian wipe to this fan art. And then we show like the lyrics. And then one of my favorite transitions is that this yellow is just a red herring or yellow herring. And then this image squishes out of frame. It was like an extra detail that I thought added a lot of character to the transition rather than just like a quick zoom out. And I think it works out well. Oh, you can base right. You to hang out on weekends, bigger and on the week. Oh, I did a lot of that too. Like every time it would like glitch out, I would make it go in verse. Partially because it's part of the song, and also because the trickster versions of Homes the characters are like alternative color palettes for the characters. So I thought, wow, let's inverse it. So you can see it also here. See, like in the background, it inverse it. I invert the color scheme of the background art along with the beat. So good. Actually, this is so good. I don't think I can do this anymore. Banger. Breathing you in. Meanwhile, that was the edit. That was so good. So good. I'm gonna watch it again. Oddly enough, this is like my color palette. This is like my color scheme for my general branding. Good times. This isn't particularly special to me, but this was when my general like trajectory started to pick up. I was getting a lot more views now, and I got a lot of views for this particular video, and it peaked out 4,205 views. A new batch of kids was introduced, and that's like double the content to consume. And yeah, a lot of people started to look towards videos for YouTube for their fandom content. But I do remember this was when I kind of solidified my style, where it started to make sense now that I felt like my editing style was going towards like a more dream-like sequence. So yeah, I think it was slightly more refined here. I took what I learned from Idols and applied it to Radioactive. See, like I like this particular part. It was the most designy thing I did. To me, it blew my mind that I finally found a situation where I could not use just white text. Like everything kind of meshed well together, even though it's not, readable, but whatever. That wasn't the point of this video. See, like, and I like that use of white to kind of ease that text to the new age into view. Oh yes, and this was like my first try at motion graphics. Oh, I'm radioactive. Ooh, yeah, then I remember my family PC then crashed. So that's all I could get. Unfortunately, after that, I took a break for a really long time from editing in general. A lot of my peers in the YouTube scene grew out of it, so did I. But I got into anime 2 years later, and I got into Kuroko no Basuke. And I was compelled to make a music video when I heard Lord's version of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And at that time, I was also so obsessed with Akashi Seijiro. This is by date my most famous music video. It peaked at 51,000 views, and I got like a lot of comments. Can't see it now because it's on private. But before, got a lot of comments like, "Oh yeah, Akashi's the worst. What the hell?" But I also got like a lot of nice comments saying like, "This is good AMV" and stuff like that. Made me feel confident that maybe I could get back into editing again. And anyway, I do think this is like my best video too in terms of like editing, not in terms of effects. So let's watch it. Acting on you. Yeah, this is. I was very mindful of. I was very mindful of the clips I used and the pace of the animation. I really wanted to convey a particular message about Akashi. So as you can see, like it now most of the clips weren't just of Akashi. Sometimes it would support the lyrics with a particular part of the anime. Yeah, does that make sense? Help me make the most of free. Like for this part, like this is the part that I edited first. Like this part. This helped me to decide. So it's because at this point I wanted to show Akashi like Akashi struggled between being the perfect kid and giving into his love and loyalty to basketball, right? So to decide between his team or, himself. And then in this lyric they said most help me make the most of freedom. And I show like the family portraits because he doesn't have a lot of freedom to begin with, right? And this one is just like I was a big Akamida shipper, so I was like make the most out of pleasure. Yeah, let's put in a scene of them. Everybody wants to rule the world. A lot of people commended me about this segment. Mainly because of like the shooting hoops part. I'll be right behind you. Oh, that's actually really good. Like the pacing of this video is so much better than before. Everybody wants to rule the world. Okay, that was nice. Anyway, that was a really good music video. I also made like a custom thumbnail for this one. I think it helped. Maybe it helped. But yeah. So anyway, that was a nice run. I'm really grateful of my experience doing what I did to get to where I am right now. Looking back at all the videos, I see a lot of influences that I didn't know was forming back then, but now I see a lot of it in my work now. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you were a fan of my videos back then, thank you so much. And if you are no longer here for the content I make, which is, gaming content, maybe more vlogs, and maybe more design videos, thank you for thank you for joining me in my journey throughout this creative process. And so that's it. I hope I can make content that will inspire people. Mostly just gonna be me fooling around with design stuff, but I hope it gets one designer or one creative out there to start making their own things in the same way that I started doing video editing because of this one music video editor that inspired me to do it. So with that, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, great night, great life, and I'll see you in the next one.